So welcome guys, it's Andy here from D6 Evolution. Now this week we're talking all about the combat hit and run. Now this is a great move and it's something which can really catch your opponent off guard, and it's really just taking advantage of the fight phase rules to enable you to pile in, to fight and escape before your opponent gets a chance to attack back. So in order for you to get how this works, you've got to understand the basics of the fight mechanics. So in order for you to be eligible to activate a unit, you've either got to have charged or be within an inch of a model when it's your turn to activate. So if you're not within an inch, you can no longer activate. And that's the really key concept that you need to get here. The second concept, which is really important in all these tactics videos, when you pile in, you have to go towards the closest model. When you consolidate, you have to go towards the closest model. Now, that doesn't have to be the same model as when you piled in. So when you pile in towards the closest model, but in doing so, you can actually make another model even closer. So when you consolidate, you have to move towards that model instead. So here we have it. We have a Blood Angels captain here, and he's going to be charging into this Chaos Knight, which is surrounded by a Chaos Cultist screen. Now what we're going to do here is the Blood Angels captain is going to charge in. Now when he charges in, he's going to keep more than an inch away from that Imperial Knight, and he's going to keep with this model here being the closest. Now, when he piles in, he's going to pile in like this. Now, by doing that, he's going to get slightly closer to this model. He's going to rotate it, and he's going to be within an inch of the Imperial Knight there. He can take his swings, and when he consolidates, this model here, it's still the closest. So now he can rotate all the way back around, getting a tiny bit closer as he does. Now, that Imperial Knight, he can't actually attack back now at any point. And that's because he's no longer within an inch of the Blood Angels captain. And the rules for activation say that you have to be within an inch when it's your turn to activate. Now, if this Blood Angel captain wants to fight again for a second time, he can do the same thing. He can move in, getting slightly closer. He can attack this Imperial Knight, and then he can move back around like that again. So there are some ways of combating this. So after the first time the Blood Angel captain here has activated, the Chaos Cultist here could simply interrupt and base to base him, stopping him activating again for a second time. Now, as we say, there's counters for everything in 40k. So there's counters to the counter. So if the Blood Angels captain wanted to be a bit more clever, he could charge in some Loyal Guardsmen along with it, and he could simply base to base these models when he charged in. Now, by doing that, even if the Chaos Cultists interrupt, they can't base to base the Blood Angels captain there. The other thing which could be done is this Imperial Knight here could heroically intervene. So it's important when you pile in to set up this move, you keep outside of 3 inches here of the Imperial Knight, and he's just outside of 3. Of course, though, if you set it up correctly, you can add in a second Blood Angels captain. So this one could pile in, he can attack, he can move back out. The second one here can pile in, he can attack, he can move back out, and then this one can reactivate and do the same thing again. So you can do this with lots and lots of different things. It doesn't have to be against an Imperial Knight. It could be against a Demon Prince. It could be against any character in the game, really. It's just taking advantage of the fact that actually you have to be within an inch of a model if you haven't charged in order to act. So you can actually do this with squads with bigger bases as well, and it can actually work very effectively. So things like Custodies or actually Deathwatch with their biker base. Now, I think the biker base is absolutely amazing in Deathwatch. So what you can do here is you can charge your Cultists and your Imperial Knight. And what you can do here is that when you pile in, you can come within an inch of the Imperial Knight, and the rest of these models keep within an inch of this guy, like this. Can all pile in round here, and the rest of the Deathwatch just keep outside of an inch. And what they do now is that they can all attack through this model here, and simply all this model does now is goes back towards the closest model and keeps just outside of an inch. So it's really effective. Base is where you can actually move the base around, so you can turn it this way, get slightly closer, and then you can get even closer, but you can move the base back this way and then move it back again. It's actually a really effective way of just dropping in and out of combat. So in this example, I'm going to show you how you can actually fight multiple units and actually make up a lot of distance when you're fighting for multiple times. So this Blood Angel Captain here is just within an inch of this cultist. He's declared everything here when he charged in. So now when he piles in, he is going to pile in this way here. He's going to be within an inch of the Demon Prince. This model here is now going to be the closest unit. So he can attack this Demon Prince here. And when he consolidates, this one's now the closest. And now he can consolidate round this way like this. And then when he activates again, he can pile in. He's going to pile into here, making this one the closest. He's going to attack the Chaos Sorcerer there, and then he can consolidate round like this. So hopefully he would have killed both of these models here, and he'll have made up a good 6 inches as well, probably even more. So there we have it. That is some advanced little combat shenanigans for you this week. People ask me when I show them this, how often does it actually occur? And the answer is it actually happens a lot because people love putting screens just in front of their characters. So if you've got a character within 3 inches of its screen, it's fair game to do this. And obviously if your model you're attacking with has got an even bigger base, it can be even more than 3 inches. And particularly those bases which, like Custodes bases on their bikes, which are different shapes, you can really take advantage of that. So that's everything for this week. If you like what you see, you can check out another tactics video up here. And I'll see you in the next video, guys. Take care.